Hey guys, welcome back to Amanda's Favorites, where I have new videos for you every Tuesday. Today's planner review is going to be of Get to Workbook. I have reviewed Get to Workbook the past several years. Last year's review was just on an IGTV, and so I wanted to get this review up on YouTube. This is the 2021 Get to Workbook. It is one of my favorite planners. It is just laid out so well. I will show you my favorite features. It had made it into my top 5 weekly planners video this year. So let's jump right in. I also love to support small companies, and this company is a one-woman show. Elise, she's amazing. She has some other amazing products on her website. So go check out her website. She also wrote a book this last year. Check all that out on her website. This is the way your planner comes packaged. I like her little sticker. This is for the goal setters, list makers, go-getters, dreamers, planners, learners, and doers. Let's get to work. And then you have your planner inside there. You have a little letter from Elise, and you even can use the other side of the card just to stick on a bulletin board or whatnot. One of the main features of her planner are these art prints. I know they're probably called something else, but they're motivational art prints, and there is one for each month. So she's going through the ones for this year and kind of talking about each one, why she chose it. So she chooses these each year, and then she works with a company that turns her phrase into an art print. And I've heard her talk about it before, like then she goes back and forth with them. Like she likes this about that or change that a little bit. So it's pretty cool that you also get this card kind of behind those motivational sayings and her thoughts on them and how she came up with them and what they mean to her. Okay, I can't show you this little sticker, but it gives you a code for 10% off your next Get to Workbook order, which I think is nice. And she talks about on this little sticker how after 15 years, she couldn't find a planner that worked exactly the way she wanted it to. And so she created one. So there's a little Get to Workbook card and her kind of motto, big things happen one day at a time. Your Get to Workbook cover is hard, like chipboard. And then you go into the book. Get to Workbook is $55. I know there are different times throughout the year. If you just want to try it out and a good chunk of the year has passed, then it is usually gone on sale if she has any left. Also, one of my favorite products from her shop is her Bookmark. It is only $4. It fits any O-ring planner that, of course, is this size. It fits the Simplified O-ring planner. It's just a really good bookmark for O-rings that snaps in and out easily, has an actual ruler on it. It does have the Get to Workbook little check mark and then your today up there. But it's just a perfect functioning ruler. If you are picking up a planner of hers, I highly recommend you pick 1 or 2 of these up to mark spots in your planner. And if you just need a ruler for an O-ring planner, this could be a great one for you. It works really well. Let's just walk through the whole planner. You have Get to Workbook here. That's just my reminder on the paper is 70 pound and all recycled paper. When you open it, there is your nameplate page and you have big things happen one day at a time. Then you go into your 2021 at a glance. This page, of course, can be used for anything you wish it to be used for. You have lightly shaded boxes. This could be for appointments and birthdays, or it could be used for goal setting, or it could be used for recording good memories from the month or gratitudes, or it could be used for bills or big things that are only paid quarterly or, 2 times a year. That's kind of how I use my year at a glance a lot of times in a planner. Then every single month you have a reflect and goal set page. I love the simplicity of her system. It is not a goal planning system with a lot of questions or prompts or taking you through a lot of work. So if you kind of already know how to set goals, then this planner could work for you if you just need simple check-ins and you don't want a lot to fill in. The things that she has outlined in these boxes really resonate with me. Last month's wins, still in progress, to let go of. So I like that because every month we leave a month with things still in progress that we're working on. And we also have things where we're like, you know what? That was important to me. I might be in the middle of it, or I may not have even started it, but I'm going to let go of it off my list because it's not important right now to think on. That resonates with me too, because some things I'm like not ready to act on yet, but I'm like, these are things I need to think about and consider. to work on, so things you actually need to get work done on, and to complete, things that you need to complete. I love this going into the next month, ending a month and going into the next month. I'm going to tell you that I've actually filled these out when I'm not even actually using this planner, just because these resonate with me. Then this is cool. These are really thick cardstock. They are perforated. You can tear them out and then you can put them up on your bulletin board or whatnot. It has your month at a glance. This month is all about, you can scribble something on there, and it is your motivational art print. For every month, they're different. Also, as you tear these out, so you could tear them all out at the beginning, it really does reduce the bulk of your book a little bit and the weight, because they are thick cardstock and you're taking 12 of them out. So that's an idea. And they really do tear out easily. You just fold on the perforated line. They are made really well to be able to just, I give them a good fold on both sides, and I actually tear all mine out and save them in a box. Then they just pop right out like that, and you can hang it up or do whatnot. This month for January, this is the sign you are waiting for. So this is it. You don't need to wait for a sign. This is your sign. The back of it's, of course, always blank. So if you wanted to leave it in your book and use it as just an extra notes page, if you don't want to tear them out, then that is an option too. Then every month on your tabbed page, which is thicker than your other pages, it is another thick page, but it is not slick at all, and it takes your pen well, and it like matches up well with the other page. You have your laminated tab marked on both sides. They are really tough. You will never have a problem with these tabs. You have just a light gray graph grid paper where it says date and project. So any notes for the month that you want to take for January, they are actually on that tab. So how easy is it to find those, to go back and reference them? You know, notes for every month are on that tab. You could use this page for habit tracking for the month, you know, because it's graph grid. You could write down goals for the month. You could just use it for lists, for notes, for drawing out projects, you know, whatever you need. But I love that that's the back of your tabbed page, because it's just easy to look through all your months of the year and see like, oh, what was I doing in June? Then you have your month at a glance. Now, this is something to know about this planner. It does not have any holidays listed on it at all. So she wanted to leave it completely blank, to where no matter what religion you are, no matter what country you're living in, you're not going to have any holidays that you don't want listed. So you will have to go in and list your own holidays in here, but it is completely open and blank for you to do that. Something else to note is on months where you need like a 6th week here to finish out, so that you are not dividing and sharing a monthly box, she adds a 6th week on. And on months where you don't need that 6th week, then it is not added on. And so you just have more notes room. So see how you have less notes room here, you have more notes room here. Like for March, you have that much. So I absolutely love that, because she customizes it for each month. I do not like sharing boxes at the end of the month. Very few months you have to bump down for a 6th line here. So most months you have a lot more notes room at the bottom. I love just the look of this planner. It is clean, it's open, and it actually screams to me to just scribble in it. You know, make notes, make a mess, use color or don't use color, you use mild liners, do whatever I need to, but it's just, it totally makes me feel like just screams, just right all over me. I also like how there's no color, because you can go in and add, I like to add like a monthly color, you know, and change my color per month. That way, if you want to use stickers, if you want to use a color, it's completely open. Or if you just want to use pencil and highlighter, it's open for that too. I've seen how Elise uses her planner, and I believe it's all like pencil and a yellow highlighter. She has a system where she crosses out her things, I believe, by highlighting them. I've always wanted to be able to do that, but my mind cannot wrap around it. When I see highlighting, that tells me that's like the next thing to do. So I just cannot cross out items by highlighting it, but I love the way that looks on people's lists when they can do that. You have your next month, a look at that. Your previous month and your next month, your small note space. It's a typical Sunday start, and those days from the previous month and the next month in a light gray. And all your boxes are just shaded light gray. Then you go into your weekly layout. But before we get into that, and you'll see previous months are going to be in a light gray, and I'll show you that in another situation. And then when your new month starts, you will have to choose like which week to use when your month ends that way. I will show you an example. Well, that month ends on the exact right day. So when your month ends, this month, March, ends midweek on a Wednesday. And then let's see how it starts in April. So it ends on a Wednesday. You can either choose to stay in March here, but she's ending it, you know, on the last day. And then you could just come in and start on the 1st right here and finish this. You could just use this for notes or not use this. Or if you're someone like me who really needs to see your whole week together, she's just making it light gray to show you, you know, we haven't started April yet. This is the end of March, but she's giving you the option to use it as a full week for those of us that need to see a full week. And then some people really want to, you know, stay with their month and split when the new month starts. So she gives you that option there on your months. Here is my pen test on the 70-pound recycled paper. This paper is not slick at all. It has a little bit, not really much tooth, no, but it absorbs pen really well because of the recycled paper that it is. And if you look at the back, there is not really anything ghosting through it all. I mean, you might be able to see faint hints of the ink, but nothing bleeding through at all. And I used some mild liners and ERIN CONDREN dark dual tip markers, Paper Mate Flare. So it's all on there. Now let's look at a weekly spread just in the middle of the year, just because it seems to be able to, it's nice to have an even amount on each side of the book while we're looking at it. Okay, so your weekly layout is a Monday start. You have one of my favorite features, your 3 action items for every week. I just love being able to scribble in the 3 most important things there. I have used this for like my YouTube work before, like planning out just what I'm doing as far as YouTube work. And I've used it for a significant amount of time, like months in a row for that, and have really enjoyed it. And every other day, your gray shading changes. So your gray shading is up here on the top 3, and then it switches down to the lines. And it's white lines on the gray shading. I really like the light look of this. I also like that there are no harsh lines down here, because how I have used it also is I've drawn a line completely across here and used all the rest of the bottom for notes and lists, and only kept the top portion for just what's happening on that day. So that's an option because you don't have those harsh lines in between. You can write all the way across, make notes or lists. Of course, you have this big graph grid space down here for notes for your week. You have 3 boxes up here with a circle for tick off. Of course, that could be for your top 3 for the day, but it could also be used for like just your appointments of the day. It could be used for like your weather, your dinner, and your steps. So whatever you want to use those top 3 for. And then you have lines, which are ample space lines. I like that they're not super skinny. It's the right amount for me to be able to write in a line comfortably. And you know, your month is outlined. Every day that you're on is outlined. It's just so clear. And there is so much you can do with these blank pages. So I don't think I showed you, after a monthly spread right there, you go straight into your week. And this is one of those months where Monday is starting from the last month. So I will again remind you and show you how that looked. Your month ends on a Monday, the 31st of May, and then she just gives you Tuesday and Wednesday because, of course, it's on that paper. You can use that Monday like I would because I want to see my whole week together, and I actually wouldn't use this page at all. It would just be an extra notes page in my planner. Let's show you what happens at the end of a month because I have not done that yet. It depends on how your month ends. So if your month ends on this side, it's looking like you get this graph grid page and a little to-do list box here. So just an extra page for notes, projects, goals, whatever you need. This is at the end of every month. It is one of my favorite pages. These 2 pages are at the end of every month. I think this one is just extra depending on which side your month ends on. We'll check that out. But you get this with every month, a project planning page where you can write in your project, some notes, date, deadline, and then action items, some bigger spaces, some littler spaces. So for what you're working on that month, and then just another graph grid page for date and project, just more notes, more mapping out. And then every month ends with the reflect and goal set also. Then your next month starts with your art print, and then your project page for the month on the back of the tab, then your monthly view, and then you go all the way through your month. This month again ends on the left, so you have this extra page on the right, and your reflect and goal set. So it really just depends on which side. If your month ends on this side of the page, you're going to have an extra graph grid notes page over here. If it if your month carries all the way over through both sides of the page, then you're just going to go into your project page here for the end of the month, your project grid page, your reflect and goal set, and then go into your next month's art print. So that is the flow of this planner. And I want to go ahead and show you every month's art print. I already showed January, and it's right before your monthly tab every month. Do Your Best is February. Nobody has it all figured out. I like that one. I really like that one. For March, April is Your Best Idea is the one you can act on. Ooh, not only do I love that scripting, but I love the sentiment of that quote. You are okay. Yes, we are. June is Enjoy It. July is Good Things Take Time. August is Onward, which I think we had a peek of that one. September, Future You is Glad You Showed Up. October, Less Panic, More Purpose. November, Why Not Now? And December, Your Work is Not Your Worth. Very nice way to end the year. And then at the end of the year, at the end of December, in your Get to Work book, here is what you get. You get some extra pages. So you have your reflect and goal set for December. You have your project page for December. And then you go into some extra pages here. You have extra planning project pages. So you got 4 extra project planning pages with your graph grid opposite. Then you have just some graph grid pages, around 10 of those graph grid pages. Then you get 2022 at a glance for like your future planning, thinking about appointments, vacations, or mapping out goals, or if you're writing a book or doing a big project and mapping that out. So you get that 2022 at a glance. You get a calendar view of 2022 year at a glance. And then big things happen one day at a time to end. And then you have a little pocket back here, not huge at all, on white, just cardstock. And then that is the end of your Get to Work book. Let me know your thoughts on Get to Work book. Let me know if you've ever used Get to Work book. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care of yourselves, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.